Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, I just started the YouTube.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
Miss Chalmaine, Alexis Chalmaine, she's in the quarantine pod, so she's not able to come down, so she has to get rescheduled.
Okay. Let me, I'll make a notation. And I'll do an order to have her brought back for tomorrow.
Yeah, I might come to this front. So it does have to see y'all. Getting out.
Are we ready to begin otherwise?
Yes, Your Honor, we're right on the lady side.
Okay.
Honor, we read it from the male side.
Okay. Well, let's get started. Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm not here to conduct a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case. I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if your case goes to trial. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: the right to presumption of innocence, the right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, the right to a speedy and public trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond and fees in cash to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office will hold the cash and return it at the end of the case. If you use a commercial bonding company, someone will have to pay a fee to the company for their service. The fee will not be returned. I don't know what fee will be charged, but it is usually based on a percentage of the bond. Finally, if you use property to post the bond, the property would need to have a net equity of at least 3 times the total amount of the bond. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. This special condition will be provided to you on a separate form. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you could remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, the person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, This court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to review or consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Finally, I need everyone to raise their right hand. Do you swear or affirm that any statements made during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, I'm ready to get started on the ladies' side.
We're gonna have first Miss Butler, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Butler. You've been charged with a violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, and you've been charged with use or possession of drug-related objects. The first count is a felony. The bond for that is going to be set at $5,000. You're going to have a bond set on the use or possession of drug-related objects charge at $1,500 for a total bond of $6,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
It's possible.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Are you currently employed, Ms. Butler?
Do DoorDash.
Okay. About how much do you make per month? Just a rough estimate.
About 1,400.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
Did you say April 21st, sir?
I'm sorry?
April the 21st?
Yes, ma'am, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail.
Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back, Ms. Butler.
Next, we have Ms. Davis.
Ms. Davis, you've been charged with 4 offenses. They're all misdemeanor offenses. The criminal trespass, the bond is going to be set at $2,500. The obstructing an officer, the bond is going to be set at $2,000. And the 2 simple battery on a police officer, those bonds are going to be set at $3,000 each. So you're going to have a total bond of $10,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, man? Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, Ms. Davis. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Next, we have Ms. Garcia, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am. You have 2 offenses. One is driving a vehicle without a valid license, And the other is driving a vehicle where it looks like one of the brake lights may have been inoperable. These bonds are set by schedule, which means they're automatically set. So you're gonna have a total bond of $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am? I'm sorry. Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 20th. That date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
What does that mean exactly?
So everyone has the right to be represented. You don't have to accept an appointment for a lawyer. You can hire your own lawyer. You can represent yourself. These are offenses that are basically like tickets. So there's probably going to be a fee or fine assessed as a result of this. But if you want me to see if you qualify, I have a duty to see if you qualify. But you can also represent yourself, or you can hire your own lawyer.
No, I'd be fine, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're free to go back, ma'am, unless you have any questions for me.
Next you have Ms. Moody.
Okay.
Is that right?
Greetings, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. You've been charged with 3 offenses: obstructing an officer. The bond is going to be set at $2,000 for that. Driving a vehicle with a expired or invalid tag. The bond is automatically set at $500 for that. And driving while your license is expired, you're going to have a bond set at $1,000. So you have a total bond of $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am? Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, that's fine.
Okay. How much do you earn per month, ma'am?
Per month, I would say about 15 to 1600. Yeah, 1600.
Okay. You do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Can you repeat the total amount of my bond again?
It's going to be $3,500. And it's going to be a little bit more than the number that I said, because the sheriff's department is required by law to add fees to the bond, and I don't have access to the fee schedule, so it's going to be a little bit higher.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, ma'am?
No,
Okay, you're free to go back.
thank you.
Next we have Ms. Myers.
Good morning.
Good morning. Ms. Myers, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree and 1 count of simple assault. You're going to have a total bond set at $8,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Avery Dawson. Do you believe that you can post this bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you, I'm sorry?
You said that was 3,000?
The total bond amount is going to be $8,000.
Oh, 8. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. $5,000 for the criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, and $3,000 for the simple assault. Do you understand the stay away provision?
I do.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
You can.
Okay. You're on the edge, but I'm going to find that you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
As far as the bond, I don't have cash, but I do have my card. Is that another form of payment?
So I'm going to say the sheriff's department, they're the people who are the experts. But my understanding is that you will be able to have access to a phone where you can use a bonding company, and you can make the arrangements with the bonding company that you would need to make. But you can ask the people there, and they will inform you of what you would need to do.
Okay,
Okay? All right, you're free to go back, ma'am.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Ives is next, y'all.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am. You have 2 driving related offenses. It looks like driving, failing to have your headlights on, and driving while your license is suspended. You're gonna have a total bond set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Can I do a signature bond?
No, we don't do signature bonds right now.
Okay.
So it's gonna have to be something where you're gonna have to either use cash, or use a bonding company or use property.
You said it's 2,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's doable.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 20th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, thank you.
Okay, you're gonna hire your own lawyer, or you're gonna represent yourself?
Trying to represent myself.
Okay. If you don't have any questions of me, ma'am, you are free to go back.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna have Ms. Baxter next.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, 1 count of obstructing an officer, and 1 count of battery. You're gonna have a total bond that's gonna be set at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Possibly.
Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from a Marquetta Candace Way. Do you understand the stay away provision, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 20th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Okay.
Do you have any questions of me?
No. Thank you for your
Okay. You're free to go back, ma'am.
Next, we have Ms. Copion.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. You've been charged with 1 count of driving under the influence of alcohol and 1 count of improper lane change. You're gonna have a total bond set at $5,500. Do you believe you can post this bond, ma'am?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Okay. You're gonna have a total bond set at $5,500 for these 2 offenses: driving under the influence and improper lane change. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir, but I don't even drink alcohol, so they didn't do me a breathalyzer or anything, so I don't get that.
Okay. So at this stage, these are just mere allegations. The police officer is going to have to be able to prove this. And that's why, as early as possible, we try to make sure that people have lawyers if they qualify, so the lawyer can get started as early as possible. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Ms. Pope. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You can have that preliminary hearing date set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
And you said my bond is how much total?
$5,500.
$5,500.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, ma'am.
And last we have Ms. Way, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hello.
Good morning, Ms. Way. I see that you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. You're going to have a bond set at $5,000 for this offense. Do you believe that you can pay that bond, ma'am?
Something like that.
Okay. Well, I would encourage you to contact the bonding companies that are authorized to write bonds here. They will work with you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out, and you're going to get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir, it's fine. I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So how is it I get charged for trespassing of my own residence?
In this particular instance, in Georgia, trespassing can be accomplished in 2 ways. One is that you're at a place that you're told not to be. Second is that you somehow damage property that either you jointly own or deprive someone of property that either you jointly own or that person owns. And in this situation, they're saying that you poured liquid onto a TV and caused the TV to crack. Now, if that is your property completely, then that's a complete defense to this. So that's why we, like I say, we try to give people lawyers as early as possible so that these issues can get worked out as quickly as possible. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir, it's fine.
Okay. You're going to represent yourself?
No, sir, I'll get a lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any other questions of me, Ms. Way?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it for the lady, Your Honor.
Okay, let me ask you a question. On my side, I have waiver of extradition forms for a Leah Williams, but she's not on the calendar and I don't have anything else. So I'm presuming she's going to be on tomorrow's calendar.
Yes, sir. Only thing I have on the female side would be the Leah Williams, and she's not active. She's not here. She's out.
Okay. And I have a Dominique Mapp who was listed as a fugitive. MAPP is the last name.
We do not have that on our calendar either, Your Honor.
Okay. And all I have is a WAA that just says that she's a fugitive. So I just wanted to double check with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Good day.
You too.
Okay, we're ready for the men.
All right, Your Honor.
All right.
Give your name. If you're not going on like that. Yes, find that. Giving your name. Adonis Jimenez.
Mr. Jimenez, you've been charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle while your license is suspended and 1 count of driving a vehicle with the allegation being the tent was too dark. Both of these offenses are set by schedule, meaning the bonds are automatically set. So you're going to have a total bond of $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. But I have a question. I don't live in the state though.
Okay. I see it says you live in New York.
Yes, sir.
So you'll be able to bond out and come back. And that's something that you're gonna have to make sure that you pay attention to, because you don't want to miss a court date.
No possible way we get court through Zoom or Skype?
Well, currently that's all we're doing is court through Zoom and Skype. So you're most likely gonna be dealing with that. This is something where these charges pretty much will most likely be resolved through the payment of a fine. So you probably won't even have to come back. It'll probably be a fine that you would have to pay as it relates to this. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Jimenez, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any more questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Edward Avant Kills.
Okay, Mr. Avant Keels, you're charged with one count of improper lane change, one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, and one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. You're gonna have a total bond set at $12,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 21st because the drug charge, the VGCSA charge is a felony. So you're gonna have a preliminary hearing set for April 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
You can see if I qualify, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Avant Keels. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Can you repeat the total bond for me again?
$12,000.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
It's Ronald Bowden.
Mr. Golden, you've been charged with one count of simple battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. And there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Lataria map. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
You can, Your Honor.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Bolden. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Yeah, you're free to go back.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Jerry Bourne.
Borns?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Borns, you've been charged with one count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon, one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce, one count of kidnapping, and one count of false imprisonment. At the current time, I cannot set a bond on the kidnapping. And so I'm not setting a bond on the other felony charges. I'm going to leave that for the next judge. You're going to have a $1,500 bond set on the possession of marijuana less than an ounce, the misdemeanor. I'm going to put a stay away provision on this to stay away from a Tashia Jabbar. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 21st at 8:30 in the morning. And it's going to be via Zoom, the way that we have it here. I'm also setting a bond hearing date for April 23rd. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, sir. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Burdette?
Yes.
Mr. Burdette, you've been charged with 1 count of obstructing an officer, and the remaining charges are all driving related offenses. Improper passing, wrong side of the road, or driving on the wrong side of the road, and a second improper passing or passing in an improper zone. So there's going to be a $2,000 bond on the obstruction charge. The other 3 offenses, the bonds are all automatically set. So you're going to have a total bond of $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. I see you did not fill out the form for the appointment of counsel. Does that mean you intend to hire your own?
I need it, sir.
Okay. Are you currently employed, Mr. Burdette?
Abby, EW.
I'm sorry?
No.
No.
Not right this second, no.
Okay. So you do qualify, Mr. Burdette. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
The obstruction, is there any lesser charge?
Obstruction generally it's a broad charge, and it can be completed in a number of different ways. This is something that it probably can get reduced at some point. But that's something that you and your lawyer would definitely have to speak about, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Burdette.
Thank you.
Are you Mr. Burton?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Mr. Burton, you've been charged with 1 count of carrying a weapon past the checkpoint area at the airport. The bond for that is automatically set at $3,000. You've also been charged with theft by receiving stolen property, being a firearm. And the bond for that is going to be set at $5,000. So you're going to have a total bond of $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Burton. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 21st at 8:30 in the morning. That date, that's going to be a Zoom hearing like we're having here today. And that's because the possession of the firearm by or theft by receiving stolen property related to the firearm, that's a felony offense. So do you have any questions for me, sir?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Cross?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cross, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I'm going to set the bond at $2,500 for that. But I'm also going to set a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from sage tree. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Yes.
And do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date, and that date is going to be set for April 20th at 8:30 in the morning. That date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Cross. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Evans?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Evans, you've been charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended license. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. 1 count of violation of Georgia seatbelt law. Bond is set at $500. And 1 count of crossing the guard line with prohibited object, meaning drugs. In this particular instance, the crossing the guard line charge is going to be a felony. You're going to have a total bond set at $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
That's with the crossing the guideline too, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I can post that.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 21st. That date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you do qualify, Mr. Evans, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. You, Mr. Glover?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Glover, you've been charged with 5 offenses. Speeding, there's going to be a $500 bond set for that. $2,000 bond for the obstructing an officer charge. $10,000 bond for the violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act charge. $1,500 bond for the use or possession of drug-related objects, and $5,000, I'm sorry, for the violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, the second one. The first one is possession with intent to distribute more than an ounce of marijuana, which is a felony. And the second one is felony possession of marijuana. So you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 21st at 8:30 in the morning. And that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. You're going to have a total bond that's going to be set at, let's see, 10, 3, 4, at $19,000. You believe you can post a $19,000 bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Or are you going to represent yourself, or are you going to hire your own lawyer?
Oh, no, I already got a lawyer.
Okay. Who's your lawyer?
Thomas Florio.
Okay. Well, you make sure you tell Mr. Florio those dates. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Glover?
You said it was what date?
It was April 21st at 8:30 in the morning.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Free to go back.
All right, Your Honor.
Yes.
Can we skip the line and go with Mr. Head?
Yes, you said Mr. Head?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yes, we can. Mr. Head, you've been charged with 1 count of simple battery. The bond is going to be set at $4,000 for that, but there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Brianna Say. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Head. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Are you Mr. Greaves?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Greaves, you've been charged with fleeing from a police, which I believe should be a felony offense, and reckless driving, well, you're going to have a $10,000 bond set on each charge of fleeing and reckless driving. The other 3 offenses, the bond is going to be set at $500 apiece. So you're going to have a total bond of $21,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, did you say no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th at 8:30 in the morning. That date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Greaves. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Hunter. Clayton.
How you doing, sir?
You're Mr. Johnson?
No, Mr. Hunter.
Mr. Hunter.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Mr. Hunter, you've been charged with 1 count of improper lane change and 1 count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon. I am going to set a total bond of $10,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 21st. Because the possession of firearm by a convicted felon charge is a felony. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. Mr. Hunter, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Yes, sir. I do have a question.
Yes.
The person that I was in the car with when I got pulled over, they had a gun on them in their name, right? The gun was in their name, but it was under their passenger seat. But they still charged me with possession of a firearm because I'm a convicted felon. Only because I'm a convicted felon, I didn't have a firearm in my possession. I was trying to see, like, could they charge me with possession of a firearm, or is that constructive possession of a firearm? Because and the gun was in the person that was in the car with me. The gun was in their name, and they told the police that that was their gun. They only locked me up because I'm a convicted felon around a pistol.
It's basically constructive possession, and you explain this to your lawyer, and your lawyer most likely will get these charges dismissed if what you're telling me is true.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Hunter?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
How you doing, sir? Jamarcus Johnson.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson. You're charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle with an expired tag and 1 count of driving on a suspended license. You're going to have a total bond set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Johnson. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, you said 2,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good day, sir.
Good morning. You Mr. Jones?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, you've been charged with, it looks like, 4 driving-related offenses. The bond for these offenses are set by schedule, which means they're automatically set. You're going to have a total bond of $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Jones. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing well. Are you Mr. Lucas?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lucas, you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated battery, 1 count of following too close, 1 count of improper turn, and 1 count of striking a fixed object. Because it appears you do not have a criminal history, I am going to set a total bond of $12,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Monaco ward. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You've Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for April 21st, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, Mr. Lucas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Looks like you do qualify. Sir, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. McCoy?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McCoy, you've been charged with 2 driving-related offenses. You're going to have a total bond set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, Mr. McCoy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, looks like you do qualify. Mr. McCoy, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Miller?
Are you Mr. Miller? Okay, Mr. Miller, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. The bond is going to be set at $3,000, and there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Gabrielle Awatunde. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Sir.
I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Jesus, sorry. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Miller. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. And are you Mr. What's your name, sir?
Muhammad.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, and the bond is going to be set at $3,000. You're also going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th at 8:30 in the morning. That date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
First of all, I can't make bonds, sir, and I'd like to waive my preliminary. But yes, I would like to see if I'd be approved for. I was actually represented by the Jonesboro firm last time. I believe I.
Okay, the Lister and Hope.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to check on my box that you want to waive. Deputy, do you have a waiver form there for Mr. Muhammad to sign?
Yes, sir.
Okay. They're going to give you a form to sign, and they're going to send it to me, and then I'm going to fill it out.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor. The last time I waived my preliminary for a criminal trespassing charge on January 4th, it took me all the way till, when was it? They called me for court 14 days later, but I missed court because they sent me to the wrong place 3 different times. And then I went to my supposed preliminary on February 16th when I had a displacement on that day, had to wait another week. And then I finally signed a plea deal for 5 days time served on a criminal trespassing charge this year. So I just want to know, if I waive my preliminary right now, will I go to court in 7 to 10 business days, like is what it said?
To be the most direct answer to that question, Mr. Muhammad, is that I don't know. We are kind of doing as best we can under these COVID-related times. The paperwork will probably get there faster than it would have in January because there was a change of administration. So there's a lot of new stuff that was happening. Unfortunately, I can't give you a promise. What I can tell you is that the paperwork will get sent to where it's supposed to go, probably no later than tomorrow. And my understanding is that because we're dealing with this COVID times, that the solicitor office, they're trying to move a lot faster. And a lot of things are getting worked out over the telephone because people are not being able to be in the same spaces. So we'll send that waiver over and we'll make sure it gets to where it needs to go. But unfortunately, I can't make any promises to you as to the time. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Muhammad?
I'd like to write down your name.
My name is Judge Gardner, Judge Brad Gardner.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, and I hope things work out for you.
So,
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Santos?
Yes, sir.
I recall you being on, I think, one of my calendars before.
Yeah, like on Monday, the 1st. I don't.
Yeah. It looks like there's a new warrant that was issued on March 2nd. And this is again with Miss Woodruff. And it's criminal damage to property in the second degree. They're charging it as a felony, and the allegation is that you pulled a ceiling fan down in the master bedroom. I don't know why it wasn't charged the time before. I don't know, but
They're charging that as a felony?
Yes, sir. And they're saying that the damage exceeded $500. And so that's why with the criminal damage to property, there's a threshold as it relates to the value of the property that was damaged. If it's under 500, it's a misdemeanor. If it's over 500, it's a felony. So I'm setting you down for a preliminary hearing date of April 21st, but I probably gave you either April 20th or April 19th date earlier. Do you recall which date I gave you?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm going to try to see if I can match this up so that you're not just bouncing around with two court dates, because they'll be during the same week. So it all should be at the same time. I set a $5,000 bond on this, and I also put a condition, and I think I did it before, about staying away from Crystal Woodruff.
So my bond is $25,000 now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And did I appoint a lawyer to represent you before?
I don't think so. I haven't had a lawyer speak to me yet. How soon would a lawyer speak to me?
Your offenses before, you had, if I recall, and I'm racking my brain, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but you have felony offenses, correct?
Sir, I have no idea. I don't even know how half these charges I got, but
okay. So I believe it was felony offense. I'm going to go back and look at the calendar from Monday. You said you appeared before me on Monday?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Santos. All right. It looks like you had 5 offenses. The false imprisonment was a felony.
And who did I false imprison?
False imprisonment is it's what they call a lesser included charge of like kidnapping. And so false imprisonment, the way that it looks like they have it charged is that you prevented Miss Woodruff from leaving. So if you tell somebody to stay there or don't leave, that could complete the offense of false imprisonment.
That was the other way around.
Okay.
She got a charge for assaulting me and I was running away. We was outside when the police came, so I don't understand how I did. You see what I'm saying? That's just weird on its own. But I don't know where it's because, never mind.
So the date that I gave you was April 14th. I mean, I'm sorry, April 19th. So I'm gonna put that on with this new charge so that they'll both be on the same day.
So my bond is still 25,000?
Yes. And I'm gonna make a notation that you were appointed a lawyer on March 1st. So we'll try to make sure we get all of this stuff kind of put together. Do you have any other questions of me, Mr. Santos?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Honor.
You're welcome.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good morning. That's the last time I can say that. It's 11:59. Are you Mr. Schuster?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Schuster, you've been charged with 1 count of DUI as of being a refusal and 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. You're gonna have a total bond set of $6,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Schuster. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. We're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 20th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new date in the mail.
Okay.
Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Yeah, say I bond out today. When would the lawyer contact me that you appoint?
The law firm is going to be Lister and Holt, first name Lister.
Can you repeat that, sir?
Yes, Lister and Holt, first name Lister, second word Holt.
Okay.
That's going to be the law firm that's going to handle your case. If you don't hear from them, today is Thursday. If you don't hear from them by Monday, feel free to call and tell them that they were appointed to represent you and you need to speak to a lawyer about your case.
Okay, appreciate that, Donna.
You're welcome. You're free to go back.
Okay, appreciate it, sir.
Okay. Mr. Tate, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I'm setting the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can pay that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 20th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out, and you're gonna receive a new court date. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you currently employed, Mr. Tate?
Yes, but it's not, yes.
How much do you make per hour?
It's not, I work for tips doing deliveries of service.
Okay, so give me like a rough estimate of what you think you make per month.
Like 500 a month.
Okay. You qualify, Mr. Tate. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Taylor?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Taylor. You've been charged with 1 count of simple battery. I'm going to put a $3,000 bond on this offense, but I'm going to put the stay away provision to stay away from a Destiny Morgan. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes, sir. I just have a question about that.
Yes, sir.
That young lady you mentioned, it was a customer through my Airbnb. I just wanted to know the specific procedure that I need to follow to keep them away as well as protecting myself.
If you believe that you have to keep her away from you, you can apply for a protective order. And currently, the way that they're doing it is one of 2 ways. You can go through the county website and go to the court section, the magistrate court, and you can apply through there, or you can make arrangements at the main police department. And they have computers set up, but you would have to make an appointment where you can go there and you can fill the information out to request for that to happen. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Taylor. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a March 20th court date, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Actually, yes. Any court date that I get, my girlfriend, she's in the hospital as we speak right now on monitor. She's about to have my kids. I'm having some soon. And like I said, I don't know the day. Her due date is actually the ending of March. So, but they're inducing her earlier.
Okay.
So I know around this date, I might actually, like, I just don't know if I'm gonna be at the hospital. I'm actually asking if I could get a later date is what I'm asking. Because I know March is my due month.
Once you bond out, that date is gonna get waived and you'll get a new date in the mail.
Okay.
And it'll be sometime later.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're free to go back, sir.
Can you tell me one more time what that bill was?
Of the bond amount?
Yes, I'm sorry. The bond amount?
It was $3,000.
3,000. Okay. Yes, sir. That's it.
Okay. You're free to go back, sir.
I'm sorry. Can you tell me my attorney's name too, as well?
Well, the law firm will be Lister and Holt, Lister, second word Holt. And like I told the other gentleman, if you don't hear from them in a few days, feel free to call and tell them you need to speak to someone.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too.
Mr. Wright, you can put that right.
Mr. Wright, you're charged with one count of public indecency. The bond is set by schedule for that, meaning it's automatically set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
What's that?
It's automatically set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yeah, when I get home.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 20th, but that date is gonna get waived and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
$2,000.
I'm sorry?
$2,000 is that?
$2,000.
All right.
Okay. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
Okay.
I just want to know when to pay it.
Okay.
I ain't got no money on me right now. Huh?
You'll receive that information in the mail as it relates to this charge. Okay.
All right, Sean Lee, selling truth today.
Yes, sir.
All right, Sean Lee today. Ask him. Ask him for me.
Judge, he was asking if he's going to be released today.
If he posts his bond, yes, he will be able to leave today.
All right.
If you post your bond today, you'll be leaving today.
Okay, I can.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, Your Honor, this is all we have for today.